Okay, so let's create some visual design elements or techniques that once I just mentioned. So I'm just going to drop I'm not going to use any of these, so I'm just going to drop maybe the one I want. So I'm just going to drop any frame the way I want it. You can choose to select from any of the presentation or um, desktop, but I'm not going to use any of them. I just want to create my own. So I'm going to bring this down. So let me give this a title. So I'm going to pick this my text here. So I'll use, so Figma gave me Inter 12. This is always their default text size. So once you just click text here and drop it here, this is the default settings you will get. So I'm just going to save this as a style guide. So I'm going to increase the height. 200 is too much, so I'm going to use 100. Sorry, 128 is too much. I'm going to use 80. So I'm going to make this semi-bold. So I'm going to use my favorite font. This is what I'm going to use. So I just want to create, that title I showed you guys here. So I'm going to add this like this. So I'm going to make it auto layout. So once I make it auto layout, I'm going to align to the left and then to the top. And then I'll drag it and I'll place it here. So I'm going to drag it this way. This one beautiful thing about auto layout. You make auto layout as a drag. Whenever you're dragging it, the text will just respect itself and then fix the position. But in this aspect, I don't want to place this my text at the center. I want to be at the left. What I have to do is just come to this place, align to the left. So once I align to the left, it's too close, but I just want it to start from this point. So I'll just zoom in and then come here. So once I zoom in like this is how it's going to look like. And then I'll have to drag it. So once I'm dragging it, you see that the number is changing and the number is actually changing here. The padding, horizontal padding is actually changing here. So yeah, horizontal padding here is 75 and here is 10, which is giving us here. For vertical padding, the up is 10 and the down is 10. So I'm just going to bring this like this. And I'm going to change the color. So I'll be using this color for just going to create this color. Okay, thank God. So I'll be using this particular color for my style guide. So I'm just going to copy the color, come back to my design. I'm going to come back to my design. I'll just scroll here. Remember, I'm clicking on this. There's no peak color. I'm going to give it a peak color here. And remember I said that Figma default peak color is always white. When it comes to adding your default frame or auto layout is white. But when you want to drop a rectangle, the default color is different from this one. So I'll just come here, highlight this white, and then paste the color and click enter. Now, this is actually not a good accessibility for text and color. So I'm just going to change this default black to white, pure white. FFFF, pure white. So very soon you start getting used to color code. Like you just yourself start getting used to color code. FFFF00 is red. FFFFF 6 times is white. 0000006 times is black. 333 6 times is black, another shade of black, that call it dark shade of gray, 333. You just see yourself getting used to color code. You don't see yourself start getting used to color code without even someone telling you. Just go there and just type the color code and just see yourself getting used to it. So I'm going to use this particular this color form. Let's just say we are creating a style guide, a better style guide for this food design. So I'm going to increase this from semi-bold to extra bold. I actually want it to standard, but since extra bold is too much, so I'm going to use bold. Now, what font are we going to use? So like I said, I'm going to use this, my favorite font, which is Urban List. So I'm going to create, something like this. So I'm going to create something like this, but I'm going to make it this pattern. Where is it? But I'm going to make it this this format like this. Then I'm just going to play around with the three of what I've done. Then for my color, I'm going to make it like this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to design is going to be the this fonts like this. So where is my design? Okay, so I'm going to create that. So to create that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my text. You can choose to click your text here, or you can choose to drag this. So if you click your text, automatically carry the last setting for this your text. So you drop it, you've seen it, automatically carry the last setting for this, and you just type letter A and then small letter A. So this is what. So I'm trying to create something like this. So I'll come here. I don't know why my hand is always going to the left hand side. So I'll come here. I'm going to play around with. Let's just use any color of our choice for now, and I'm going to duplicate. Ctrl D, Command D. I'm going to drag this a little bit. I'm going to take out the fake color, and I'm going to add stroke to it. So you can see that we are gradually creating something like this. Then I'm going to zoom in. So remember, this one is this, and this one is this. Yeah. So I'm going to add, this dot, dash, something. So I'm going to come here, click on this 3 dots here, and I'm going using solid. So I'm going to use dash. So how do you want to set your dash? You just come here, set it. So you can see that it is going. Then this is what I want. So remember, we are trying to create something like this. So I'm going to come back here. This is what I want. So I'm going to take this out from. You can choose to. I forgot to explain to you. You can choose to make your dash cap to be this way or this way. Because let me zoom in so you see what I'm saying. Now you can see how the cap look like. You can select this way to be like this, or you can select this way to be like this. But the dash is just 7 like this. So you can make, let's say, you can see how it is. So if I come down, you see how it actually reducing. So I was using 7. And yeah, you can just, I've not played around with this because I can't tell, but I'm going to try it now because we learn every day. So this is, okay. So this is actually the edge. So this is the edge. So this is like this. This is this, and this is this. I think I like this one. Well, I want it to be similar to this, so I don't have to change it. So I just have to use to be the same with this. So I can just close it. So I'm done with this. You can choose to make your stroke to be 2, 3, how thick you want it to be, your choice. So I think I'll have to make it 1. This is actually looking odd. So I'm just going to use 1 So I'm going to use I'm not going to use my standard black. So I'm just going to use So I'm going to play around and reduce the shade of this. So like this. And then I'm going to hold the two together and then do frame selection for it. Group selection, I won't say so, but I think I prefer frame selection. So I've made it frame selection. So the next thing I'm going to design is something like this and then add the name of this thing. You can choose to increase if you want it to be very, very big. Your choice. So if I zoom out, this is how it's looking like. So you can choose to hold the two together instead of changing it 1-1. You can choose to hold the two together, come here to set it, or you can hold your frame together, come to this place and click on scale to increase it. So the choice is, so by the time I increase it, let's take one. You can see that it's giving us 165.0. So it's actually going to give us a decimal points because of the scale. I actually scale it. But once you are done, you don't want to have it in decimal points. You can just come here and then change it to maybe 166 like this. Okay, so you're good to go. So the next thing I'm going to design is just that box that has the name of the font I'm using, font choice I'm using. So the font choice I'm using is you can choose to just duplicate. So I'm used to drag and drop duplicating. So I'm going to change the color to the already default color is giving me here. So I'm going to use this color. So I'm using, see the name here. I'm using urban list. So I'm going to reduce this font. So I'm going to use 36. Okay, let's make it 40. Let's see, make it 40. Okay, so I think 40 is okay. So you can choose to make it semi-bold. So this is what we are trying to create. So what family does this font belongs to? Isn't it all this white and I don't even know the family it belongs to. So let's ask Google. So it belongs to this family. So I'm just going to come here and I will have to duplicate this. So I'm just going to paste it here. So I'm just going to reduce this font because this is what we are trying to create here. Oh, they are even the same family. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this to 20, 24. Then I'm going to make this to be black. So I'm just using the default color that it has already given to me here. So I think I'm going to hold these two as auto layout and I'm going to add padding to them. So I just want to add padding to this and this. So I'm just going to, I want it to be at the top. So I'm going to add padding. So I'm just going to, okay, I think this spacing is okay. So I'm just going to add padding. So now this is how I want my arrow to be. So I'll just take it this way. So I already have 16. Here is 0. So I'm also going to do same for here. I think I want it this way. This is okay. So I'm going to give it a fake color, but the fake color is just going to be like this is okay for me. So I'm going to hold these two together and then make it a layout. So I have created something like this. So the next thing I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to create our font styles to be like this. So I will start, since I'm designing for a a mobile, I think I'll just have to start from 32. But if 32 font is actually too big on my web or my mobile view, I will have to use the one that is okay. But if you're designing a fresh, like now we're not designing a fresh design because we're just replicating what we already have. But if you're designing a fresh design and you actually use 32, and while designing you notice that 32 is actually big, you can just quickly change it. Okay. So because style guide is not something that you create and you will not touch it, or you cannot add or you cannot reduce. No, you can add and you can remove. Okay. So we are going to start from 32. Our heading 1 is going to be 32 bold. Yeah, bold. Some fonts, when you use 32 bold, is going to be too thick. For example, this is urban lace semi bold. Now I'm going to use let's use Poppins. I see this font as, I don't know, but the pigeon I normally call it like the font don't chop belle full, because this is semi bold. Let me change the name. Poppins is actually a very thick font. Now this is semi bold for urban lace. This is semi bold for Poppins, and let's use semi bold for Montserrat. I think I'm just guessing some person's font choice that they use. No, this is Montserrat. So this is Montserrat. This is, let's use Motu. And this is Inter. Inter is a beautiful font though, but I personally don't enjoy using it. So let's get different fonts. So I'm going to use just 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 just. um Trying to think. Rubik. Okay, we've already seen Rubik. Let's look at DN Sant. DN Sant has, yeah, DN Sant has this is DN Sant. So now, okay, DN Sant doesn't have, yeah, they don't have semi bold. What they have is bold. So I'm going to look for another font that have a popular font that has bold. So Roboto. Roboto. So this is Roboto. So all these fonts, now all these 6 fonts are, all of them are semi bold, but you could tell this is actually looking like medium for Poppins. This is Montserrat semi bold. This is Roboto semi bold. This is just semi bold, and this is Inter semi bold. So you can see that these 6 of them, these 6 fonts now, one is actually showing me a different thing. Okay, let me twist it. This is semi bold. 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 And this is semi bold. So it's not supposed to show me mixed. So the name is supposed to show me mixed. Yeah, it's not supposed to show me mixed. Okay, so now these 6 fonts are good fonts, but you can see that their weights. I'm using one particular weight for the 6 of them, but this particular font semi-bold is actually looking thin than this. But when looking at it, you see that this and this are almost same, but this is actually looking bigger than every other one. So your kind of fonts you are using determine the weight of how the fonts will look like. So if I'm teaching you to use urban lace semi-bold, when you're using your robot, when you're using poppins, you cannot use semi-bold. For a particular place, I use urban lace semi-bold because it's actually going to look way too thick. It's like it's going to look too thick. You can just go ahead and use medium for that particular place to match into what I already use. So that's how you can tell if I'm teaching you with this particular font. It doesn't mean that when you are using this particular font, you go with the same weight I use. No. Now look at Pumpkins medium and look at Urban Lace semi-bold. You can tell that they are almost looking like the same weight. In fact, they are looking like the same weight, not even almost. They are looking like the same weight. But you can tell that this font is actually chubby, fat, like it's very fat than every other one I use. Now look at Joss. Joss is actually, this is just semi-bold. It's actually looking like this semi-bold, but it's looking like Urban Lace bold. Now you can just, let's use medium. This is medium, and medium actually fits in with this one. So look at Roboto. Roboto is actually, yeah, this is a good font for semi-bold, but if you use medium, this is how it's going to turn out to be. It's actually looking big in my eye, thick. It's looking thick in my eye. This is for medium. You can tell how slim this one. So this one and this one are almost looking like the same way if I use medium for both of them. You can see this is medium, 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 and medium. But you see that these three are looking different from these two. So that's how different fonts and different font choice determine different weights that you're going to use. Okay. So if I'm teaching with Urban Lace semi-bold, if you're using maybe any of these particular fonts I use here, you just use the weights that match with what I'm designing. If you want to replicate my kind of design, you're also going to use the weights that match to any of this. Please give me 1 minute. Let me open this window. Okay, sorry about that. This place is too hot. Okay, so let's continue. So now let's create this. Let's create this. So like I said, we're going to start from 32, but to me, 32 is actually going to look so big on my. It's going to look big for my title for the mobile. So let's check out what we already did for the mid fidelity and then pick up that size for it. Let's wait for it to load. So what we use here is 24. Like I said, 32 is going to be very big. So 32 this is how 32 look like. So it's going to be very big for it's going to be very big for a mobile. So our heading 1 is going to be 24 semi-bold. So come back here. Remember I said if you're building a fresh design, if you use 32, let's say for your textiles, you use 32, and when you start designing and you notice that it's actually going to be very big, I'm just going to show you how easily you can just change it from your local styles and then come here to change it instead of changing it for your entire. Let's say for example you use 32. You use 32 on your design, and when I'm reviewing your work and I said, oh Mori, this 32 font size you use is actually too big for your design. Why not use 24 or maybe 26, which is actually a better font size, and you've done like 30 screens. So instead of going to start cleaning from screen 1, screen 2, screen 3 till you get to 30, you will just come to your local styles here and then change it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So once I create all my text styles, I'm going to put them in my local styles here. Remember, we've already done for grid. So I'm going to add for color, and I'm also going to add for text styles. So the first thing I'm going to do is to create this first one, which is this. So it's going to be heading 1, and then the name, the font width and the font size. So back to my design. So I'm going to come here, bring this here, and I'm going to make it 24. I'm going to make it semi-bold. I'll zoom in. I'm going to copy this. So I'll come here, drop this, and then I'll duplicate. I'll have to reduce this to 20. I don't want it to stand out like that. So I'll say semi-bold. Semi-bold. I can just make this medium because this is what I'm using. So this is going to be heading 1. So this is going to be heading 1, and I'm going to reduce this here. So this is going to be like regular, but this is going to be very small. So this is going to be 24. Is she the only one not seeing my screen? Is she the only one not seeing my screen? Okay. So I'm going to, I think you have to go off and come back again. Yeah, I know network has been funny. So I'm going to reduce the, the three of them are currently are just having the same color. So I'm just going to change this color like this. So I'm going to come back here. So I'm going to change this color this way. So I'm going to make this this way. So I'm going to, you can just choose to hold the three of them, auto layouts, and then add auto layouts. This one, it doesn't matter if you want it to be auto layout or not. You can just use framing or auto layout if you want to. So I've set this the way I want. I'm just going to pick this one. Now this is the right font. So this one is saying that this heading 1 is semi-bold and is 24 ps, which is what is here. So I'm just going to set it as my local styles. So I'm going to come here and then click here, click on this plus here, come here and then put name, give it a name, heading 1. And then you can choose to add description just like the way we created our style. You can choose to add it, but if you don't want to, just put it. So this is how it's going to look like. Okay, so this is how, if I click out, now this is how it's showing. Now this is showing that this is 24 ps here. You can choose to duplicate. Then when you duplicate, you come here, you're going to remove it out. Okay, so you're going to remove it to create your own. Now the next one is going to be heading 2. So the next one is going to be heading 2, and this is going to be 20. If you want to add 22, you are free. If you want to add 20, you are free. So the choice is yours. So here is going to be semi-bold. So here is going to be semi-bold, and yeah, I'm going to bring this one here. So I think I'll have to make this one 22. So let's make this 3, and let's make this, this is going to be 22. This is going to be 20. So this is going to be 22. So I'm going to duplicate more. So I'm going to create this as heading 4, but this is not going to be semi-bold. This is actually going to be medium, and this is going to be 20. So I'm going to rename this to medium. So I'm going to, so I think this 4 heading is okay for me. So I think once I'm done, let me just add a little thick color to it. So I'm going to come here and give it a thick color. So I'm just going to use the same thick color I've used here. So I'm going to pick my color. It's okay. So I'm going to create now. Now I'm going to create my body text. So once I create my body text, I'm going to create them as local style. So I'm going to just duplicate this here. You can choose to continue this way. You can choose to make it this way. The choice is yours. So this is actually going to be big body text. This heading 4, thinking of making it big. Okay, I think this is okay. So I'm going to make this one big body text. So this 2 is going to be big body text. So 18 is going to be big body text. So this is going to be 18. This is going to be medium, and I'm going to change this to medium 18. Okay, so I will correct it very well. So, but let's just work on this. So I'm going to change this one to 18, but this is going to be regular, and this is going to be regular 18. So just now, let's, this medium text is actually looking bigger than this. So I'm going to change this heading 4 to be big body text, big body text. Ah, my neck. So this is going to be big body text. So, okay, this is okay. So I'm going to duplicate these 2 and then move it this way. So this is going to be medium body text. I'm going to use the word M. This is going to be M, medium body text. Here is going to be M. So I'm going to change this to be 16, and I'll come here to change it on to be 16. Can anybody else not hear me? So this is 16, and this is going to be 16. So the next one I'm going to design or create is going to be oh, okay, all right, thank you. So the next one I'm going to create is going to be small body text, which is going to be 14. Remember, we are creating for a mobile view. If it's a web view, it's going to start from 54. But since we are designing or creating for our existing app, I want to recreate my food app. I want to create a style guide for it. So it's going to be from 24 if it's a mobile view. If sometimes if you're creating for a website or a landing page, you can design from 32. You can create from 32. But like I said earlier, if we are creating a fresh design, and you can start from 32. You can start from whatever number you want to, but please don't start. Let it don't be more than 32. Like let it don't be 33. I prefer using designing in even number. So if you see me call in twos, just know that I design in even number because it's easier for me. So if you can start from the 32 if you're designing a landing page, you can start, but this is already an existing design, and we are just going to just look at what we've done and then create a style guide for it. But if you're designing a fresh design, you can start from 32. If it's a web, sorry, if it's a mobile, you can start from 32. But if it is a web, you can start from 54. Okay. So now let's continue, and then we'll create them as local style and then do the color for the designs. Then we can close for the day and then come back tomorrow to start from where we stop. So I'm going to duplicate this two and then come here. So this is going to be small body text. So I'm going to add S to it. So this is going to be small body text, and I'm going to reduce it to 14. And I'm going to reduce this text here to 14. So I'm going to come here to and turn this one to S, and then reduce. Before that, if I go, I change this one to 14, and then I'll come here, change this one to 4. So I'm going to duplicate it again. Then that one will be tiny body text, just in case we need it. So that one is going to be 12. And this, just going to duplicate it this way. So this is going to be tiny. So this is going to be T. You can choose to type it, or you can choose to just put the words here. Let's just put T. I'm going to change it to 12. I'm going to change this one to, I'm going to come here. Okay, so we are done creating our text style for Mavi Food and mobile application. So now let's create all of them as the local text style, so that it will just be easy for us to just use. Okay, so now this is actually this heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4. It is what we use. The other one we didn't change. Remember, we didn't change the weight. We didn't change the weights. We only just change the text. Okay, but this heading 1, heading 2, big body text, is what we are going to create as our local text style. So now let's create heading 4, heading 2. So we're just going to create it the same way we did for heading 1. So I'm going to come in, click on this plus, and I'm going to name it heading 2. Now I'll come here for heading 3, and I'll do the same thing. I'll come for heading 4. I'll do the same thing. So before you continue, make sure that so when you're doing that, make sure that when you click on this particular text, this is for heading 4, this is medium and 20px. Be sure that it's actually the same thing that is here to avoid double mistake. So you just come here, click on that plus sign, and then name it heading 4. So once you click on this one, I don't know, I'm using MTN right now, but I think their network is stable for now. So just, I don't know if you're going to refresh or shift a little from your position. I'm using MTN and it's working perfectly for me. So now we've created 4 heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, and 4. This is semi-bold and this is medium. Now let's put all the headings in one folder, and then when we create our body, we put them in one folder. So I'm not clicking anything. I've clicked out. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to right click. I'll come here and add a new folder. So this folder is on the on title. So I'm going to put it headings, whatever you want, or you can say heading or title or whatever you want to. Any word you want to use at all is okay. So I'm going to drag the first one, the second one under the first one. I'm going to drag the third one, and I'm going to drag the fourth one. I think I didn't give this one. I didn't add number 3 to this one. Now, what we are going to do now, I want to add number 3 to this particular one. So I'm going to right click, come to edit styles. So this is how it's going to show me. I'll just come here and add 3. So once you add 3, just click out. Automatically it shows. Now, when we close all our heading text, so if you close this, now you can see that all my heading text are inside this particular folder. Now let's create for the body text. So now let's create for the body text. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to start from here. So here is going to be big body text, BBT, BBL, BBN. So this is going to be BBT, big body text. So I'm going to click on my plus. So this is going to be let's use BB. Let's use okay, let's just add this now. Let's just type it normal way. Big body. Let's put big body M. Let's put it as big body M medium. And this is going to be big body. So this is going to be big body text regular. So you can use any word you want to use, but I'm just trying to use it in a way that I'm actually going to understand what I did here. So yeah, I'm going to use big body R. So this is medium and this is regular. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to do the same for others. So this is going to be so this is going to be medium body M. You know, the weight is medium and the size is 16. So this is actually going to be so this is going to be medium body R. So let's quickly create others the same way we did this one, and then we'll put them in folder. So this is going to be small. Okay, so I have created from big body text to small body text. So I'm going to place them the same way I did for this heading text. So I'm going to come here. You know, this is the first one. So it's showing you 18 medium, 18 regular, 16 medium, 16 regular, 14 medium, 14 regular. 12 medium, 12 regular. And then I'm going to add them in a folder. So I'm going to call them body text. So I'm going to drag, just bring it down the same way like that. Just be bringing them the same way. So it will just be arranged in that order for you to use. You bring 14 medium, you bring 14 regular, you bring 12 medium, and then you bring 12 regular. So I have created my text styles, and if you want to put them, two of them together inside a folder, you can do that. You can just add another folder and then call it your text. So once you call it your text, this is how it's going to look like. So this one is not inside. You can just bring it inside here, and then you just take this one to the top. So I have created my text. Now I have created my text. Now, in case Maureen, let's assume that I needed Maureen to do okay. No, let's say 24 is actually too big for heading 1. Let's say 24. Let's assume that 24 is too big for heading 1. Instead of using 24 semi bold, you can just use 22 bold. And let's say Maureen has been using 24 semi bold, and I said, "Oh, Maureen, this 24 is too big. Why not use 22 bold, which is actually good?" And she has done like 30 screens, so she don't need to stress herself, start designing, start adjusting. All she has to do is just go straight to this particular one. So what you're going to do is, this is already heading 1. So you just come here, come to your text here. You just click on this particular one, edit text. So when you come here to edit your style, you just come here, select bold, and come here, select 22. So once you select, you can see that it automatically adjusts. Let me undo that. Now look at this. Look at where my cursor is. Now, if you're looking at my cursor here, now let me change this. So by the time I change this, it will just adjust to all her designs that she has already used this particular font. That's it. So let's say she's designed. Let me go and bring one of those my mid fidelity. Okay, let me bring one of my high fidelity design. No. All Okay. So we already have okay, let's use, which screen am I going to use? Okay, let's use this screen that has plenty text. I'm going to copy this screen and I'm going to come back to this place. Okay, so let's drop this screen here. Now let's assume that she has been using 24. Let's assume that she has been using 24, and I told her to change it, or I asked her to change it to let's say she has been using 24, and I asked her to change it. So she don't even need to stress herself. The one she has adjusted from her local styles, she will just come here and change this to bold, and then come here to change. This is the only place she's going to change the text. But in all this place, it will just automatically change. What is going on? Medium pumping font. So I'm just going to click here. I'm going to use 22 bold here. I'm going to click here. I'm going to use 16 medium. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to use 16 medium. 14 regular. I'm going to use 14 regular. So I'm going to come here. I'll click and select 16 regular. Can do this, but if I don't have access to it, I will just see it. There's a way to display it for people that have access to view. There's a way to be displayed. When you click on this, you'll be seeing some, you just see everything that I use for this font. And when I go there to see, and I see that she used bold 22 and it's actually looking small, I can just tell her, oh, instead of using 22 bold, go ahead and use 24 semi bold. So I'll have to do this thing again. So go ahead and use semi bold. So all she has to do is she doesn't need to start changing her practice screens. You get what she has to do is just click here, come to this edit text here. When you come to this place, you can change it to semi bold. Come here and then change it to 24. So once you change it to 24, it automatically adjust in everywhere that you've used this heading 1. That's how it's going to be. And then the only thing you will just do is just to come on this your style guide here and then change it to semi bold. So you just change it to whatever I asked you to change it to. You change it to semi bold and then you add 24. Then to be sure that it is actually what you've done, you can just come here. If you're doubting Figma or you're doubting yourself, you can just come here to discharge and then see that it can automatically change. Okay, so let me show you one more thing before we can call it a day and then continue tomorrow for part 2. So like I said, we're going to use this color. So I'm going to just bring this. Let's say we've done our research and we are good to go with this particular color. So I'm just going to get this shade of color. I think I'll have to touch it a little. I think I'll have to touch it. Let me see how it looks like here. I think this is better. Okay, so I want to get different shade of color instead of drag and start playing around here. Figma did something for us that gave us a plugin that you can just use to get different shade of color from this particular color. You can get the darker shade and you can get the lighter shade from this pinkish red or reddish pinkish. I don't know. Well, I think I just like how the color is. So I'm going to come to these resources here. I'll click to plugin and I will come here to look for tints and shades. So I will allow you to search. So before you do that, click on the plugin before that will happen. So let's wait for it to give us the result. Now this is the result. This is it here. This fine emoji here. This tint and shade. So I'm going to please mute. Please mute. Okay, so I'm going to run this plugin. So I'm going to click on. So I'm going to click on this run here. So click on this run. Select from create from the selected rectangle. So it's going to run for me. It's going to show me now. Run different shade of colors for me. Now let's watch the magic. Okay, so it has given us the different shade of colors. Now this base is showing that this is the selected colors. So it has given us the lighter shade and the darker shade. Then the next thing we're going to do, we are going to come here to save that plugin. So I'm going to click here to save the plugin. as a plugin I'm going to use tint and shade. This here, this is it. So I'm going to close this, return it back. So this is the base. This color now, this is it here. So we've created this color. So I'm going to duplicate this color. I'm going to duplicate this box, sorry. So I'm going to duplicate this box, and then to create my darker color, I want to create dark color too from that particular red. So I'm going to change this way. Or no need to go here to search. You can come here to just click to show you your recent plugin. You just click on it, and then to run for you. It will give you your gray color too. Yeah. So this is what we have. So this is what we have. You can actually go to get your darker color. You can come here, select the last color, and then run. You can come here to select your plugin. Okay. So this is it, and we are going to create our color styles to be like this. So in this part, we're not using primary or secondary color. We're only using primary color. So let's just create only our color, and then you can call that with it to continue tomorrow. Okay, so I don't know where this is coming from. So we create. So I'm going to drop. So I'm going to bring this a little bit down. So I'm going to take this here. I am going to change the color. Let's just use this our color here and reduce the font. Let's use 50. And let's change this to the typography. You can use different. Okay, I think I'll have to use. Let me use different frame. So undo, the last undo. So I'm going to change this to the typography. So this is going to be typography. So I'm going to reduce this frame. You can choose to make everything in one frame. You can choose to separate them if you want. So I think in this aspect, let's just separate them. So this is going to be colors. So this is going to be color. So like I said, you're going to create just only our primary color. For now, tomorrow we continue secondary color. So I'm going to drop this here. I'm going to bring this way. Now I want to have like this. I want it to have this sharp here, then here, then here, then here. So how am I going to design that? So I'm going to come to my design and let's select this color first before we continue. So I'm going to use this color. So I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to let's just make it wide. Why do we have wide? Let's make it wide. The space is big, so you know we have sharp edge and bend curve here. So I'm going to come here and give this place corner radius of 40, 50. So then this is how corner radius is. So here it's telling you this place, this place, this place, and let's just give you a 70. I want it to curve very well. Because I think 70 is too much. Let's just leave it 50. So I'm going to get how many shades of red I'm going to use. I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm thinking of, okay, the 5 is not bad, so I'm going to pick the 5 of them. If I use the 5, it's not bad, so I'm going to pick the 5 of them. So I'm going to arrange it horizontal. So horizontal I'm having is actually bigger because she's showing me um um -20. The space between them is I'm just going to reduce the width to be, maybe let's try 150. I see. Let's try 160. Let's try it was 190. Let's try 170. So I'm going to bring this one here. I'm going to hold all of them. I'm going to arrange horizontal. I think I'm having -3, so I will have to just remove the. I just want them to just end in between them, so I'm just going to use 168. So this is showing me 1 -1, so I'm going to use 167. So I'm going to make this and this align to the left, align to the right. I'm going to hold this, and this together and arrange it. Okay. It's showing me a tiny white line. I think I'll have to go with 168. I'm going to align horizontal. So now there's no space in between them. So I'm just going to add the fill color, like I'm going to fill this color to this. Okay, so this is what I have. So I'm going to delete all this. So we've created this, and remember this corner was actually curved like this. Sorry, let's go back to where we're getting our design. So remember this corner and this corner is curved. So I'll have to go back to my design to make this corner curve. So I'll click here and then I'll have to select only this corner. So what we used here was 50. So let's use 50. And here, what we use here is 50. So I'm going to make here 50. So I've gotten this shape like this. So I've gotten the shape like that. So once I'm done, I'm just going to highlight all of them, right click, and then put them inside frame. And then once I'm done, I will just come here. It's going to carry the default those okay, it didn't carry default. It gave me Figma default. So I'm just going to, instead of selecting keep your test, select color and this, you can just pick what you've done there, and let's use this, and then put it primary color. This is medium, so I'm going to use 24 this here. I'm going to add it here. So I'm going to get my color code. I'm going to duplicate this, come here, and then get my color code. So this is my color code. I'm just going to copy it and then paste it here. Add. So I'm going to add hashtag. My hashtag is always giving me dollar. I don't know how I can change that. So would I just paste the color code and then align this, and then bring this together and align it, and then put it together. So I have created my primary color and some shade from that primary color. So this is what I created, like this. Yeah. So tomorrow we are going to create. Tomorrow we are going to create the alert color, which is the alert and status color, and we're going to create the dark color, and we're going to create input field. We're going to create the button, the four kinds of button and all. So we're going to do that tomorrow. So do we have any question? Do you have something I need to help you understand better? So just ask your question now.